raised to life again. We also believe that when Jesus returns, God will bring back with him the believers who have died. Thank you for being here for my brother.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to have Czerny as my big brother. Growing up, he was one of my favorite brothers. He was my protector, gave me advice, and made me brave. Sorry, that's my voice when I start crying. When we grew up, we often talked in the family room a lot. I enjoyed that. And he told me about current events. He loved talking about current events, the world, and people. He told me he admired Arnold very much, that he was in the Navy, had a wife and family, and bought a house. He told me that he thought Armando was so smart, how he learned the computer so fast, because that was over 40 years ago. They both worked together for a little bit. And they both shared the same birthday, March 30th. Czerny sent me this postcard of one of his travels, Ivy Treasures 1-2, and I will read it now. Is that okay? Hi, Helen and family. It's very pretty here in Europe, in London. There are so many Filipinos here and other minorities. I felt like I was in San Francisco. Paris was beautiful. The best way to communicate with them is not to say anything. Everybody knows that they really learn hard not to understand English-speaking people. I use pictures and hand language. I'm going back to London, au revoir, 1991. This is in remembrance of Czerny, his writing, his words, his voice. 10 years ago when I was retiring from the city, 10 years ago, Dad, when I was retiring from the city and completed the paperwork at civil service on Market Street, I walked over to Czerny's building. He also worked for the city at the water department. We both happened to be in the hallway at the same time. It was such a great moment. I was happy to see him. I hugged him. He said, "What are you doing here, Helen?" And I told him I was retiring. He gave me advice as usual. Then he introduced me to the security guard who was there, and they know him as Bernie. He said, "Hey," and he called him by his name. He said, "Hey, this is my sister." I will always remember that most. This is my sister. So, Czerny, thank you for giving thoughtful gifts to the children when they were young. You're so generous, and for your concern of them. Thank you, Czerny, for taking care of Mom and Dad all these years and calling those times when you had to. Teddy Jr., thanks God for you and for your brotherly love. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry for the loss of our beloved Czerny. Thank you for everything you do for our family and for these beautiful arrangements to celebrate him. Thank you, O Lord Jesus Christ, for Czerny. Please God bless his soul. May God grant Czerny eternal rest. May he rest in peace and love. Peace be with Mom and Dad, Teddy Jr., and all of us, our families. We love you so much, Czerny. We'll miss you. Thank you.
So coming up right now is my niece Jasmine, and she's gonna lead us in a song or maybe a solo.
I'm going to sing Amazing Grace for Uncle Czerny in remembrance of him. And the lyrics might not be exactly what's in the program. But thank you so much for the opportunity to share this with the family. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind,